Welcome to Bigger Than You, the podcast to help you go from overwhelm, self-doubt and scarcity in your business to the calm, grounded and unshakably confident version of you that's going to bring your vision to life. You've got a mission and a purpose that's bigger than you and your limiting stories and beliefs. So let's get you out of your own way. I'm Jenna Holloway, your host and multi-award-winning intuitive hypnotherapist and mindset coach. Expect to hear game-changing perspective shifts on how to align your subconscious mind with your boldest goals, and will unlock the power of energetics, infusing it into every aspect of your life and business for maximum impact. Are you ready? Then let's dive in. Hello, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy 2024. I'm so excited for what's to come this year. And no, my head is not in an organized space, and we are literally just hitting the ground running with this episode. And it's so timely because I'm feeling this way a little bit. And one of my clients is, and background of what's about to happen is this morning, this is like my first proper window of time working. My mum has the girls for a few hours. And yeah, I came in my office and literally just saw myself, like, you've not heard me say this before, 95% of what we do is done subconsciously, right? We're on autopilot all the time. And so even though I was so looking forward to having this like window of time, so much to do, all the rest of it, I still came in and sat down and quickly went on Instagram to check my notifications, and then went on Facebook, then check my inbox, because the brain likes the path of least resistance, right? And because I didn't have utter clarity on what I was coming in to do, in an ideal world, I would have had that kind of to-do list, right? I'm going to come in, I'm going to get started straight away. We don't live in an ideal world, and I've got kids and family and all sorts of stuff going on. So I'm starting my year in what feels like a very kind of scrappy, unorganized fashion. But I'm not going to use those words because it's life, right? And it's real, and I'm a mum, and it's always going to be that way. So in order to have a mindset that supports you, you just need to fall in love with the season you are in. And this is my season, right? It's just the way it is. So we learn to roll with it. We learn to get the best from it. And what I love to do is to just show up and share what I'm going through in the moment, in the hopes that that will help people. And so, yeah, I went scrolling through my apps and I saw myself doing it. I was like, come on, Jenna, you literally have waited for this moment for ages. Why are you wasting time? And this is me kind of living the becoming a match training that I teach all my clients. And that is, you notice in the moment what you're doing, and you notice whether that is a match for the person that you need to be to create the results that you want, or you're not. And in that moment, I definitely wasn't the person that is doing the things that she needs to do to get the results she wants. So I just course correct. I put my phone down. I actually quickly typed a post about that moment. And then I cracked on with something a little bit more meaningful and that's actually going to make me progress in my business. And that was starting to plan a podcast episode. And it wasn't going, it wasn't flowing, shall we say. I had things that I was like, had really important points, but it just wasn't flowing the way it normally would flow. And I didn't make myself wrong for that. I was like, well, that's fairly normal, right? I've not recorded a podcast episode in weeks. I've not coached in weeks. It's normal to feel a bit rusty and to take that tight sort of small window to get into the swing of things again. So as I was making some notes on this podcast episode that I was about to record, one of my Powerhouse Portal clients did a check-in. So we've got our call on Thursday, first call of the year on Thursday. But I did a little post like checking in with them a few days ago, and one of my ladies wrote her reply as I was planning my podcast. And I was like, do you know what? Thank you, universe. That is so, so perfect, because rather than me writing a reply for her. It's just the most perfect thing for her to have asked, because she is going through what I'm going through. She's also a mum. And it's just like, it was just a gift basically from the universe. I knew that it would really help her to have proper coaching from me, to respond to the questions that she has asked. I didn't want her to wait until Thursday, until our call. So I thought, but I always ask myself in my business, right? And I teach this to my clients, how can I let this be easy? And I saw an opportunity there. And I said, do you mind? Can I put this out on the podcast? Can I literally coach you through the podcast so that other people can hear what I'm going to say to you? Because I know that it will help so much if you're feeling this, like, this feeling of, oh, where the fuck do I start, right? I've had a lot of time off. I've got big goals and I just can't get started. I don't know where to start. Just feel a little bit overwhelmed. Brilliant. This is for you. So I'm going to read out her post, and then I'm basically going to have her in my mind. I'm going to coach her and you guys can come along for the ride. So she said, I've been enjoying a nice break from work and I've really needed it actually. It's been a busy Christmas, and also everyone except one of my daughters getting a brief tummy bug before going away to our mini break to London, which was amazing and full on. Then my sister had a party for New Year's Eve, which was a late one. So I've only just woken up today thinking properly about my actual business for the first time, really. She didn't say this, but I just wanted to recognize her in this moment. That is testament to the work we have done in Powerhouse Portal and the work that she's done on herself to get to the place where she completely switched off, just like I did over the Christmas holidays. She's got 2 daughters as well. And she saw my post last night on Instagram about how I completely unplugged and put my family first. Like, those are my values. And she messaged a story saying, I totally relate. And I laughed and I was like, well, I hope so, because you're one of my clients. Like, this is the point, right? It's about freedom to live by your values and to not be pulled away from your values because you're feeling stressed about needing to work, or feeling stressed about needing to create, needing to get results, or feeling stressed in any way, right? It's about the mindset in place first to allow you and to support you to live by your values. And if you are a mum over Christmas, that's probably going to be putting your family first, and honouring your season, whatever that looks like for you, that is unique to you. And it's about not being basically, yeah, like I just said, pulled away from your values, right? Living in accordance, living in alignment with your values so that feels good. So yeah, back to her post. She said, I was hoping some ideas and inspiration may have dropped in, but it hasn't really. And that is totally okay, right? When we unplug from our business, I found this when I was on holiday with my family. I was expecting the same thing. And it's just like, no, everything switches off. And I was waiting for inspiration to come in and it didn't come in. And the same for me at Christmas this time. But I was aware that happens now, and I experienced it on holiday. I was aware when I decide to unplug, I'm not expecting for ideas and inspiration to come through. If they do, great. But if not, it's okay. Like, it's about not creating resistance by having expectations of what we're about to experience, dropping all the expectations and just allowing, like literally allowing what will happen to happen, not making meaning out of it and just flowing, okay? When we create resistance by getting frustrated that things aren't happening the way we want them to happen, we slow down the possibility, we close off our channel, and we slow down, we restrict the possibility of those things coming in at the right time. So yeah, I'll carry on with what she said. She said, I enjoyed your post about not comparing to others online who don't have kids, as I had a few fleeting feelings of I should have been selling and promoting more over this period and I'm missing out, etc. I've still got that stuck feeling and feel a bit directionless. I've also had some thoughts that I'm not getting the most out of this container and the week's just flying by, but I'm just not sure what to do. So I think I need some help. Maybe it's time for the one-to-one. By the way, she's in Powerhouse Portal, which is a 6-month program. We have weekly coaching. It's not surprised that she's felt that because we've had a couple of weeks of not coaching because of the Christmas holidays. But as part of Powerhouse Portal, you also get 2 one-to-one sessions with me, and those are bookable at any point. So yes, I said absolutely book in a one-to-one. And then she says, how do you move forwards from this when you're not sure what you need to do? I feel stuck with the amount of time I have as I've been so busy with one-to-one clients, and also the need to make money now. So not being in a position to turn things down. I want to scale with my group, but having more time to put the effort into that is hard. Also having no time to do more inner work and development. I know a lot of this is lack mindset and maybe just not being patient. I've had a few inquiries recently about my program that seem to just fizzle away, so that is frustrating. Okay, right, what do I want to say? First things first about the feeling stuck and how do we go about doing something with that, right? Because my client felt this way, I felt this way this morning. So if we're feeling this way, I think a lot of people out there are feeling this way too. And you see all of these posts online about people who have done their goal setting, they've done their review and they're fired up. Yes, that's great for them. Also, some of that might be bullshit narrative too, but it doesn't help when we're feeling this way. If we're looking to others and seeing that others have got it all figured out, that's just not helpful at all. What we need to do is come back within and just allow the space for whatever wants to come in when it's ready to. But the mindset to support you through that is just start. Just do something, right? Because momentum is created through taking action. And when we start to take action, then we get more clarity, and then we build that momentum, okay? But you literally cannot have momentum if you do not take action, if you do not start something, okay? So I'm really grateful to my client for writing this in the Powerhouse Portal Facebook group so I could come and do this podcast episode. But if it hadn't have happened, I'd have still carried on my little notes that I was making, and even though it didn't feel like I was getting anywhere, even though it didn't feel like it was flowing, or it didn't feel as easy as it normally does when I'm in the full swing of things, and I'm working, as I normally do, and it flows just really well, and I'm coaching, and that inspires me, and blah blah blah. That wasn't the case. And so I had to do something. The thing that I would have done is I would have taken action anyway, because the stories, and this is really key, what I'm about to say is key for what I'm talking about here, but in life in general, the stories you tell yourself matter. And so that story that was in my mind where I was like, oh, this isn't flowing well, it's not as good as I want it to be, it's not, I wouldn't have ever said perfect because that's just not in my vocab anyway, but it's not how I want it to be. That's the story that was running in my mind. Now, whatever story that is playing in your mind, notice it and ask yourself, does it serve me? Because if it doesn't serve you, then choose another story, right? Because I was making those notes and I was thinking, oh, this isn't flowing well, it's not as good as I want it to be. That story going on in my mind is certainly not serving me. And so what I would have said to myself in that moment is, it doesn't matter. This is my perspective, and I'm still going to carry on and record this podcast because someone needs to hear it, right? And this is the thing about you showing up as you are, speaking your truth in your business. It's not about what you think about how you're showing up, or it's not about the negative inner critic, if you've got one in your head, which most people have, unless you've done an awful lot of work on yourself. Yes, I've still got that inner critic, but what I'm doing is reframing it and not allowing it to hold me back, right? So this is what you need to do. It's not about you. When you are serving clients, when you have a mission to change people's lives in the way that you do, it's not about you, right? You believe that you have a gift. You believe that you are here to serve, and you show up and you serve. Okay, it's not about you. So yes, I was saying to myself, oh, this isn't feeling good. This isn't flowing the way I want it to. It's not good enough. And I was like, no, somebody needs to hear this. And I've experienced that over and over again, especially early days in my podcast where I would put something out and be like, that wasn't that great, really. And then I'd get messages like saying, that was brilliant. Thank you so much. Really needed to hear that. And then again, when I had more to say on the podcast, and I asked myself in those moments, I was like, how can I let this be easy? Because I didn't want to create more work. I had more to say than one episode a week's worth of podcasts. And sometimes I was getting in guest experts as well. And I didn't want to be queuing up for my own podcast. I wanted to put out more solo episodes. But I didn't want to add to my workload by sending stuff off to editors and then checking stuff. So again, I asked myself, how can I let this be easy? And the idea dropped in to just do unedited episodes, like literally press record, like I'm doing now, like they all are now. But yeah, I would press record and I get to the end and I remember like messaging my OBM. She was like, is there a podcast? I was like, yeah. It's a big old ton of ramble, but it's there. And I felt like that quite a lot when I first put out the unedited episodes until it became comfortable to just be okay with my rambles because I know that they serve. And so that's the thing, is remembering it's not about you and you are exactly where you need to be to support people here and now as you are. And so yeah, even if I will still record that because I've got those notes, and doing this one now will help me to be back in the flow and to just build that momentum again. But momentum comes from taking action. And so you notice the stories that go on in your head and you change them so that they serve you. Because if you listen to those stories that aren't serving you in your head, you're gonna hold yourself back. Right? Your brain is always listening. Your subconscious will not turn around and say, hold on a second, that's a little bit harsh. No, it takes your thoughts and the words that you speak at face value. And this is why it's extremely important that you work on the relationship that you have with yourself. It's like literally the most important relationship you will ever have in your life, whether you have a business or not. So she said, I've got that feeling. I've still got that stuck feeling of feeling a bit directionless. So what I would love to say to my client here is that stuck feeling will pass when you just take action. Okay, and notice the thoughts that come up in your mind as you're taking action. You've been spending time with your family for weeks now. You've fully unplugged. You've had an amazing time, and you desire to be all productive. You desire to come back all guns blazing, be fully inspired and all the things. But that's not happening. That's not your reality right now. So we need to work with the situation and get the mindset on board to support you here and now, and that will be achieved by just taking action. Okay. So what I would do is, first of all, and this is, my client will know this, is the higher self system. This is also available to you free if you're not one of my clients but you want to know more about what I'm about to say. It's called the higher self system, and it's a process that all my clients walk through, myself included, how we create success from ease. Okay, so step one is about putting yourself first and raising your vibration here and now in the moment. As my client is about to she'll listen to this and then she'll get on with work. Before you sit down and get on with work, raise your vibration, whatever way that is. So right at the top of this podcast episode, I said how I came into my office after my mum was looking after the girls, and I came into my office and I just sat down on my phone and scrolled for 10 minutes. And then I noticed I didn't actually take the time to raise my vibration. If I had put on a song and had a song or a dance or done something to just lift me up in that moment, something I'm sure would have dropped in and I would have gone straight to do that. But I didn't, so I just mindlessly sat scrolling for 10 minutes. It doesn't matter, I'm not going to shame myself for it, but I just noticed that I didn't do that, and there we come in at a less than ideal level. Like I wasn't sitting down as my higher self there. Whereas if I had like put on some high vibe music, come in really like fired up, I'd have been right, okay, what do we need to do here? Doesn't matter, but yeah, just noticed that. So also had some thoughts on where we're we going. How do you move forward from this when you're not sure what you need to do? Okay, so like I said, then start, raise your vibration and just do something. And by taking action, you will gain momentum. You will get clarity over what it is you want to be doing. And also another thing that I would recommend there is to separate, just brain dump everything, right? Get it out of your head and onto the page. And then as you look at that page, be mindful about your choice of what you're going to take action on in terms of like zooming out on your business, what's going to have the biggest impact. Because as I said earlier, the brain likes the path of least resistance. And so we could easily just end up spending an hour doing like faffy little tasks that are super easy, but that actually aren't moving the needle forwards in our business. So we brain dump all of those ideas out of our head and onto paper, and then we look at it from your higher self, from the version of you that knows exactly where she's going and what she's doing, what's going to have the biggest impact. And if it helps, I find this really helps, monetize the jobs. Like you have two categories of jobs. You have like £10 an hour jobs, or you have £500 an hour jobs. What's going to move the needle forwards in your business? It's the £500 an hour jobs. So do those. And save the £10 an hour jobs for the end of the day when you just want to do something that isn't taxing. And like I said, the brain wants the path of least resistance. So unless we are aware that that's its subconscious intention all the time, just to live the easy life, because the subconscious, the brain does not care about your goals or your vision or your dreams or anything like that. It just wants to keep you safe. So of course it's going to get you doing the menial tasks that just keep you busy and going round and round in circles and procrastinating, unless you are aware of this and are conscious about it and you take ownership of your journey. Right. Next thing, this is a little bit deeper, and this is about I'm going to be talking to my client about capacity and alignment, and this is absolutely going to feed into us having our one-to-one, and I think she knows where this is going. But this is about, it's about capacity. It's about bold moves. So I'm going to read what she said again. She said, how do you move forwards from this when you're not sure what you need to do? And this is it. I feel stuck with the amount of time I have, as I've been so busy with one-to-one clients, and also the need to make money now. So not being in a position to turn things down. I want to scale my group, but having more time to put the effort into that is hard. Also having no time to do more inner work and development. I know a lot of this is lack mindset and maybe just not being patient. I've had a few inquiries recently about my program that just seem to fizzle away, so that's frustrating. Right. Everything is showing up here in her life is she's at capacity. So she's busy with her one-to-one clients. She also I don't like to use the word need, but she desires a certain amount of monthly income each month. So she doesn't want to be turning things down. She wants to focus on herself and do some more inner work and development, but hasn't got the time to do that. And she's had a few inquiries about her program, but they seem to fizzle away. I'm really spotting a pattern here. She is ready for an up level in terms of what does she need to do to create more capacity in her life, to create more time for herself. I'm literally speaking to my client here as I am recording this. She knows that this episode is for her, so she'll be listening. So please practice discernment as you listen to this as somebody that is not my client, right? I'm not necessarily speaking to you. I'm speaking directly to my client here because I know her and I know her business, and I know the huge up levels she's been through personally since working with me inside Powerhouse Portal. So please practice discernment. As I say this, I'm speaking to her, and everybody is different. And so if you want personalized coaching, then there are spaces for that. Please practice discernment. Katie, to create more space, you're ready for an up level in terms of your pricing. You know what you want to earn. And right now you are at capacity in terms of people want to work with you, and you're fully booked and you've got more people and you're not wanting to say no to those. But when we talk about how, like, your next level vision of your business and how you want to feel in terms of client workload, and you want to have the space for doing your inner work, for feeling inspired, for doing things on, like working on your business. You want all of those things. When we do like the visualization work, when you see that life that you are working towards, you definitely have a lot more time and energy and mental headspace and capacity than you have right now. Okay? And so it's time to level up. It's time to step into the version of the person that creates that reality. That time is not going to come unless you decide that for yourself right now. You know what you want in terms of earning goals, and the reality that you're creating right now isn't serving you because of what you've just said here. You're so busy, too busy, that you haven't got the time to work on, to do the inner work and the development that you want to. And because you're so busy, you're not getting the things done that you want to get done because you've got so many one-to-one clients. Now, I cannot wait for our one-to-one, because we will be talking about what that next level looks like, pricing and offer structure. Because when we raise those prices in alignment with where you're at right now, not where you were at 8 or 9 months ago, you've come so far. And when you're absolutely fully booked in your one-to-one space over the capacity that you desire, that's a sign that it's time to raise your prices. And so let's look at that so that we can shift what your reality looks like. With those new prices, you will not need to see as many one-to-one clients. You will have the time in the space. And here's where the energetics come in, because you've said, I've had a few inquiries recently about my program that just seem to fizzle away. Everything that is happening out here in our external reality is a reflection of what's going on in the inside. And when this is energetics, when you are at capacity, your subconscious is not going to let you bring more people in, because it's already like, absolutely not. I am at capacity. I cannot work harder. I don't have the time. No thanks. Okay, so we will manifest blockages in the sense of inquiries that fizzle out because we do not have the capacity for that. Okay, so when we do this work internally, for us to level up whatever that looks like, and in this case, I'm sure we've talked about this before and it's not happened, but I think you'll be ready for this now. Like the universe, until things get like hard enough to a point where we're like, okay, I'm gonna listen, I'm gonna take the action. Like stuff, like the lessons get harder until we're like, okay, I'm actually gonna do something about this. So yes, I cannot wait for our one-to-one, Katie. I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to be talking about, and creating that reality, doing those shifts so we can shift that one-to-one pricing up, create more space for you, and then you will have that capacity to be excited about more clients coming in. That is very, very exciting. And then she went on to say, I would like to start the new year with a bit more clarity in how to achieve my goals. I also love a New Year's manifestation exercise. If anyone has anything that would like to share what they've done, that I think is going to be another episode. Thank you for the prompt on that, Katie. I would love to do a podcast episode around that, so I will. This episode has already got to 28 minutes. My mum needs to leave the house by 1 o'clock, which is in 10 minutes time. So I'm going to wrap this podcast episode up. But before I do that, I have a special invitation for you. This invitation is right for you if you have big goals. Okay, if you have dreams and you feel like there is a purpose for you on this earth, and you are excited, so excited about your business and the work that you do, that if you had an unstoppable mindset, you know that you would be unstoppable. And at the same time, you want to feel peaceful, calm, relaxed, and grounded as you work on your business. And as you live your life, you know that you want to have balance. You want to build your business sustainably and not from a place of hustle and push. You are already aware that it doesn't feel good to push, and you are already aware that working in an unsustainable way means that ultimately you will either burn out or end up feeling resentful for your business. So you're not interested in working that way and building your business that way. You want to build your business from a place of ease and groundedness in a way that does not hold you back, right? You know, if you've ever heard me speak before, even if you've not, you will have heard the saying, the only person that holds us back is ourselves. And that's to do with mindset. So if you want to wake up every day knowing exactly what to focus on and get it done and not waste time creating problems or going around in circles or procrastinating, doubting yourself, if you want to have, let's call it millionaire confidence, to enjoy the journey, to celebrate yourself because you know that all that you desire is on its way to you and that you never doubt that. And if you want to be in a space with other people who have huge goals too, like you, but they also have values to live by. If you spent much of 2023 feeling lonely and like you desire a community that's on the same page as you, because you're not willing to hustle or risk burnout for what you want, but that doesn't mean to say that your desires are any less, then Grounded Wealthy Woman is the membership for you. Grounded Wealthy Woman is a membership that is a money-making experience for the woman who sells her services and coaching online, but wants to do it from a place of ease, flow, and inner peace. She is ready to step into her millionaire confidence. She's ready to shed the limiting beliefs holding her back and build momentum by showing up for herself, her business, and her community. By having this unshakable mindset, which means that your goals and your vision and everything that you want is just inevitable. It is going to happen. So Grounded Wealthy Woman is the membership that I am launching towards the end of January, and it is starting with founding members prices. Okay, I'm going to have 20 founding member prices, 20 founding member spots at a ridiculously low price. This membership I see as being absolutely huge. I am building it to build a movement because I want people to experience business the way I experience it, basically. And I want it to be accessible for anybody who wants it. And I want people to feel supported in their business in a way where, we just never feel lonely anymore. Okay. So it's going to be a movement that I'm building, and I'm so excited for people to jump in right at the start and build it with me. So if this sounds like something that you are interested in, and you desire more than just coaching, maybe you've been in lots of coaching spaces before and you feel like you haven't been able to achieve what you wanted to achieve because you feel like it's actually a bit deeper, you need something deeper than coaching, then Grounded Wealthy Woman is a membership for you because it will include hypnosis every single month. We're going to have a topic which will support us to go deep and create change with each month, with each topic. And there'll be a hypnosis track that you'll be able to listen to reshape, to reprogram those limiting beliefs that are currently holding you back and causing a lack of self-trust or causing procrastination, whatever it is. Okay, so hypnosis is a pillar of the membership, as is training on the topic each month, as is Q&A support from me on Zoom. So we'll be able to network, build community, celebrate each other, and just hold space for you to build your business your way and trust yourself to do it that way. So with that being said, I am going to I'm going to extend an invitation to you now to jump on the waitlist so you have access to these founding member prices. By being on the waitlist, you are going to have the chance to jump in this membership at 75% off the price that it will be. And so I would highly recommend jumping on this waitlist. That's enough for today. The only thing that you need to know in order to get on the waitlist is to DM me the word waitlist over on Instagram at I am Jenna Holloway, and we will get your name on there so that when this launches to the waitlist, you will have first access, first dibs to that special founders member price, and also there will be there will be a special gift, special bonus for those people. I think the first 15, I've decided the first 15 people that jump in, there'll be a special bonus on top of the 75% off introductory price. Okay, so that's all you need to do then. Just DM me the word waitlist on Instagram at I am Jenna Holloway. Or if you do not have Instagram, then you can click the link in the show notes and get on the waitlist that way. All right then, my lovely people. I will see you all soon. Take care and lots of love. Bye. Thank you for listening to the Bigger Than You podcast with your host, Jenna Holloway. If this episode has been valuable to you, please share it with a friend or leave a review.